G'day, mate. My name's Curtis. I recently started a online TCG business called Quack Opens. We are specifically only for the Australian market, purely because shipping literally anywhere else off of this island in the middle of the ocean is very expensive. Um, so yeah, anything going out is just astronomically high. Even coming in, we have to pay like higher costs than everyone else. And basically, this is just the start of the video content journey. I already have like videos on Instagram and TikTok, like little short videos. There's a couple of like pack openings, a couple other ones, a little bit of a celebration post. But this is gonna be like the more long form, like actually talking about what's going on in our business, what are potential challenges, or like talking about Pokemon, talking about random other things. As you can see, majority of our stock is Pokemon, but it's not exclusively Pokemon. So it's mostly around TCGs that I personally enjoy. So Pokemon, it's a fun game. You got the collector aspect of it. The TCG, I hate on it because it's got a lot of problems. That's for another video, but it also is kind of fun. I have gone to the past 3 pre-releases, which have been, really fun. Then we've got Riftbound. So Riftbound, I used to coach League of Legends many, many years ago. Yeah, it was very much natural that I kind of get drawn into the new IP that they're releasing. The card game is pretty freaking fun. I have played a bunch of times. Been meaning to go to like the summoner skirmishes, but hey, time is time is a wonderful thing that you don't get a lot of. So you got to kind of prioritize. And also there is One Piece. One Piece purely, wife loves it. It's something that I think is very cool, like in terms of the cars. Obviously, yes, there is a boom right now. Will I still be in it after the boom? Yes. Will I be expecting to make a shit ton of profit? No. Do I care? No. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, like the thing that I'm trying to build is not some sort of short term, like quick flip. Let's go from there. The the main goal is like a business that can kind of do high volume for low like margins. So basically, if you watch, any other YouTubers, it'll be like someone like Pokey, like he's kind of like his website and business. It's kind of what I strive for at the end goal, is because like I don't want to be that company that overcharges an astronomical amount. Um, I still want to give, a premium brand feel experience. So like we are looking into, special boxes, looking at like, special wrapping paper with logo, all that sort of stuff, just to try and improve the quality of whatever you would receive and make that like emotional connection with buying at our website. So it's like, just because you're buying Pokemon doesn't mean you don't deserve to have an extra experience, right? Um, like it's about separating ourselves from, I guess, everyone else, because like Pokey says, why there's a million different Pokemon websites. Why should I buy from you? Especially when there's other big players. Where I'm just a random guy on the internet. Why should you buy from me over literally anyone else? There's Good Games, there's Kmart, all the big retailers in Australia, any little LGS, and it's kind of that's where we want to differentiate ourselves by creating that like a bit of nicer experience. That is obviously future plans in the works. These kind of things do not happen overnight as much as we wish they would. A lot of planning, a lot of like little things, working with suppliers, working with like design, and just back and forwards. But yeah, so the main idea is to follow the typical Pokey like idea of, if you're posting content, I mean, it's not even just him. It's literally so I'm in the tech space. Every single startup that I see is always posting content. It doesn't matter what it is. Some like one of the biggest influential businesses that like startup businesses recently has been like Cluey, for example. So Cluey, they originally started with like an app that you can cheat on, tests, programming, like assignments, whatever else. But the thing that propelled them was purely like the marketing genius behind it. So they very much promoted the living hell out of it. They were just creating all these random, like, I guess technically viral videos. There was just like dumb skits, literally anything. Like if you look at Cluey, like the team behind that is just marketing geniuses. The product itself, it's not anything special. Like they were the first initially, or not even the first. They were one of the main big ones. Now they're like a note taking app. They're one of million note taking apps in the AI space, but they have so much reach purely because of their marketing content. So it's like another reason, content is good. Like at the end of the day, like, most people are on their phone nowadays. Most people are watching videos. I watch videos all the time. The brands that I typically buy from are stuff that I find, their content is interesting or, funny or whatever else. If it's non-essential stuff, like it's just, whatever's a cheap place, right? But if it's something that I want a bit more investment in, it would definitely be, whatever's been promoted out there. So yeah, content, 100% going to start rolling that out. Probably I'm aiming, like I'm going to do, I'm not aiming, I will do 2 videos a week at the minimum. Depending on the week, I will probably do more. It really just depends on whatever I want to rant about or talk about. And yeah, go from there. So, some more, I guess, about the business is we've been up and running for 2 weeks now, officially. So we started just before Christmas, and that was like, no, not before Christmas. Sorry, after Christmas was when we officially launched. On the 26th, no, 27th of December. Actually, I need to double check that. We've only been alive for 2 weeks. I know that much. For me, it's not actually been 2 weeks. Like for everyone else seeing it, it's only been 2 weeks. For me, it's been like the past 2 months, and even before that, it was a lot more. So there's like the long process of actually starting a business, which is like your registration for like for us, it's an Australian business number, getting all your business name registration, getting, your websites going. So we started initially on Wix purely because I don't want to like my day job is IT. I don't want to be managing stuff when I get home or dealing with IT. I just want stuff to work, especially when I'm doing, you know, a realistically a fulfillment business. I just want things to work. I don't want to have to worry about technical shit. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Very quickly found that for Australia, Wix is terrible when it comes to like trying to use it as like an e-commerce platform. So the integration with like Ozpost, which is our number one postal service in Australia, they don't play together. There's like no integration. You can get plugins which you are paying for to, work together, which is, to me, was kind of insane. If I'm already spending money on this website, especially like, it's meant to be like an e-commerce thing or like have the ability, I should be able to just print labels to Ozpost pretty easily. That's like the main thing, is like print labels, calculate shipping. That's it. Nothing fancy. Apparently it is. Then I jumped onto Shopify. After about 2 or 3 weeks of working on the website, we were designing it, planning it, making it, really nice. Then we realized all that stuff last minute because we were like, oh shit, shipping. That's the problem. So then we did Shopify swap over. That took 2 weeks. Just realizing that their editing platform is terrible. Everything needed to be coded. They got like JavaScript, like some obscure, like weird way it all works together. It was a nightmare. Shout out Gemini for assisting a lot. Yeah, like just simple things like, oh, I want to move this image like slightly off to the left or slightly to the right, rather than like if you have the UI there that you're going to be using anyway, why not give me the ability to have a button that does that, right? And I'm not talking like just left or right side. I mean, like, I want to move it 10 pixels to the left or 10 pixels to the right. The way you have to do that is you have the IDE open, and you save it, and you look back at the display window and kind of go from there. So I just started coding my own buttons so I could do it just staring at it. Easy changes. Like, the simpler the UI, the simpler I have the experience. So yeah, then we were ready to launch Ozpost. I decided, like, everything was working 100% tested perfect. I decided that I was going to install a third party plugin, which was meant to, because I realized the problem with the way it does calculations of shipping, it doesn't do. So if you have, like, say, 5 mega booster boxes, right? Instead of being like, okay, so these are this, like, this is this. How do I stack 5 of these into a box? It would literally just take the calculations for one of these and say that was the amount. And obviously, a box that can fit one of these cannot fit 5 of these. Something that, again, I thought was very simple, apparently is not, according to these platforms. So I tried out a third-party plugin, which didn't do it, even though they said they did, which was fun. So I very quickly removed that within about 10 minutes. And then then my Ozpost API key just stopped working, and we could no longer get estimated shipping. I spent the next 4 hours talking to Shopify. They couldn't solve the problem. I then got told it's a Ozpost problem, so I went to Ozpost. They spent 3 days not getting back to me. I called them. The call was basically just told, we've escalated the ticket. Good luck. So yeah, they basically didn't help at all. I was just like, screw it. We need to launch. We're just going to do a flat rate shipping. And now we started doing the flat rate shipping. I worked out the calculations for it. So it's like, how do I ship singles, right? How do I ship these? How do I ship a UPC? I worked out the flat rates for each of them, then went from there. So Australia Post works on weight, and then once it gets above 5 kilos, it is based on cubic volume, which basically means in a giant box, you are not, even if you have exactly 5 kilos, if it's a box like this big or something, you are charged on a general volume of how much it would hold. So it gets very expensive very quickly. But yeah, so for now, that's our temporary solution. I am looking to code in a plugin just to calculate this, like the dimensions for the boxes, calculate all the weight, all that sort of stuff, just because honestly, it's not hard. Like, I don't know why why I can't get it for free, but apparently I have to pay like $20 or 20 US, 30 Australian a month, which is, yeah, bit of a killer. So yeah, then yeah, we launched, started posting it around, mostly, like, it was a bit of like, mostly just Facebook, word of mouth, bit of like Riftbound Facebook groups for like singles and stuff like that. I got pretty good reception. Actually, everyone loved the website. Like, everyone was like, wow, it's really designed and all that. Shout out to my partner for that. She, put in the hard work. I just made it work. Her vision was this website. I just made it a reality. But full credit to her. And then, yeah, we very much the same night we got our first sale, which was great. We were so happy. Like, it was kind of like validation that, hey, we did something and someone saw value in it. And that's when, so we basically sold a first Riftbound card, Riftbound single. It was a bunch of them. Shout out Do, you're the best for taking a chance on us. But after his payment, PayPal decided, even though we had had the account for like 3 weeks, I had done all the verification checks, every single one, PayPal decided that they were going to just block our account and say that we can't accept any more, like, we can't receive anything, we can't do anything. Basically, you can't do anything on the account. It's bricked until we get further verification of, who you are, what are you doing, all that sort of stuff. The same stuff that I filled out weeks prior. But yeah, I had to very quickly scramble to disable PayPal and just let people know that PayPal will be back. We're just having technical issues. And then, yeah, put it on the website. Like that way, spent, I don't know, a day waiting for PayPal to get back, and then they finally enabled us. There were 4 abandoned carts that we saw of well over like a total. I think it was like $1,000 at the same period that we had the PayPal cancellation. So yeah, we very much lost $1,000 because of that situation, which is fine. You know, it's the things of doing business. But yeah, so other than that, we then started getting multiple orders. We then, as of what, 3 or 4 days ago, I realized we have some big pre-orders coming up for the new like One Piece 14 set. So I was like, crap, I need to get a bunch of cash flow ready for that because I expected everything to move a lot quicker initially. I didn't expect to be delayed a month, especially like, for example, Mega Dream. I bought this when it was still 190 Australian was selling. As of today, I think most people can get it like you can buy it like 130, 140. So basically it's at the like people are selling it at my cost. So that hurt. Not really worried. I feel like that'll go back up. But yeah, so we got delayed a month, and all that cash flow that I originally thought I would get just didn't happen because of all those delays, which is things we learn. And yeah, so now I'm just basically like, okay, I need to get money. I see all my friends doing whatnot and seeing them do well, and I'm like, I wonder if I can do that. I've streamed before for like video games. Maybe I could do this, right? I'm just talking to a camera, trying to sell some item. At least like before, I'm just streaming like a video game. Whereas now, I'm streaming an item that you want and you're willing to pay for, right? So I was like, let's give it a try. Very much. So I did that last night. Very much did not expect to make any money. Like I expected to sit there for 2 hours just talking to myself, just vibing, having fun. I didn't care. But we got a lot of tremendous support from the local scene. We were all in the chat talking, like having fun banter. And then we got our first purchase. So someone purchased 11 OP13 booster packs. And then after that, someone else bought something. And then something else. And then something else. And we ended the stream with 700 and I think $50 or $40 of revenue. I don't have the exact number in my head. But yeah, I was so surprised. Like I did not expect to make any money in that stream, and I somehow did. So yeah, thanks to everyone that joined and donated. Well, not donated, sorry, bought. Sorry. Whenever I think streaming, I think donations, which obviously this is a very different situation. Yeah, so originally it was like, oh, how do we liquidate fast? Let's do a whatnot. But now I'm like, whatnot was actually really fun. Even when I wasn't like the first hour, I didn't make a single sale. And I was having a lot of fun just rambling to the camera, just talking, that kind of thing. So I was like, all right, let's continue it. We've already seen that we have success there. So let's see how we can go. We got 1 month to on the fee reduction. So instead of paying 13.7% of fees, we pay 3%. So we have 1 month to see where whatnot will go. Whether or not we continue after that is really how the market is and how our supply, happens at the same time. Because if costs of goods, market price, and then their fees, if there's no margin for their margin there for us to make any money, well, it's obviously not justifiable anymore. We're just going to see how it goes. We're still going to keep the website. The website is still the main goal. Still want to move mostly sealed product, but hey, another avenue to liquidate is always good. So yeah, we're getting closer to the amount of money that we need to buy the next OP14 release. Very much undecided whether or not we're going to sell those as sealed on the website completely or if we're going to do a whatnot stream with them. Probably a bit of both. The main goal is to promote the website, of course, but at the moment, while sales are lower, probably better just to keep a lot more on whatnot and then have the sales there on our website just for other people to get it a bit cheaper. So obviously everything that we ever sell is always going to be cheaper on our website because the fees are, way lower versus on whatnot. They are going to be higher because the fees are higher. It's, simple economics. Thanks for watching. This is the first video of many, and I'm hopefully going into 2026 to see where we can kind of finish up. The end goal for me is just to do a minimum of break even this year, grow our revenue by at least 50%. Yeah, that's really it. Like, it's not even, it's not profit, it's purely revenue. I just want to get that moving. Yes, obviously, for revenue to increase, we need profit, but also just like smarter investments. So, like, if we sell, say, this for 400 and then buy four of these for, yeah, if we sell this for 500 and then we buy five of these, this then sells for, 160 each, right? Then you, every single one of these that we sell, there's an extra $60. So it's like reallocation. And yes, obviously that means we make profit, but that profit will be reinvested into more stock or things for the business, because businesses are not cheap, especially if you're doing legitimately. Taxes, accounting, like software is just a nightmare, and all of it has costs, websites, shipping. It doesn't matter what it is, there's always a cost. And also, I want to be in a position that I can buy like collections. So, like, anyone that's trying to liquidate a collection, I can just be like, hey, I want to buy. Here's my offer. Take it or leave it. There's a way to also grow older inventory on the store and not just like this new stuff or only Japanese, which will be a major focus just because of how hard English is to get. I already have a big collection just from personal. As you can see, I have a lot of these Pokeballs these are from China. There's these boxes. This is all Pokemon. So it's like a full, like, giant trading box of this Pokemon cards. This is Riftbound. This is Riftbound. Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff that I had. Obviously, yes, a lot of it is newer. I mean, you know, can't blame me. Yeah, so it's very much, let's see where this can go. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.